Welcome student. Last my video session we discussed about interface versus implementation. Now we are going to discuss about the pure function. What is called as pure function? Pure functions are the function which will give the exact result when same arguments are passed. If you pass the same argument to that function, the function will give the same result. Then that function is called as pure function. For example, sine of 0. We use the mathematical function sine of 0. This function always result 0. This function always gives the result as 0. This means every time you call the function with the same argument, that is 0 argument, the function will give the same result. That result is 0. That is called as pure function. A function can be a pure function. When the function can be a pure function, if the function does not have any external variable, then it can be a pure function. Because if the function has the external variable, it will alter the behavior of the variable. So the function can be a pure function when the function does not have any external variable. It will not change the behavior of the variable. So that time only the function can be a pure function. Let us see the example. Let square x return x star x. This is the square function. This function is the pure function because this function always gives the same result for the same input. Suppose if you pass the value 2 for this x, what is the result? What is the result? Tell me. What is the result of this function execution? It will give 4. 2 star 2. It gives 4 as the result. Every time if you pass 2 to this square function, this function will give the same result. That is same output. That is the output of the 4. This is the examples of the pure function. There are various advantages of having pure function. One advantage is that if the function is pure, then it can be called many times with the same arguments. Then the compiler need to actually call the function once. If the function is pure means if it is called many number of times in the program, then the compiler actually need to call the function only once. That is the theoretical advantages of having the pure function. Now let's see the example. Let I colon equal to 0 if string I less than string length of yes, then do something. This will not affect the argument s plus I. In this example, it is compiled. This program is compiled or this part is compiled. Then string length function is executed every time. Then string length need to iterate over the whole of s. String length function need to iterate the whole of s. If the compiler is smart enough to work out that, it finds that the function, the given string length function is pure, then that s is not updated in the loop. S is not updated in the loop. Then it can remove the redundant extra call to string length function and makes the loop to execute the function, string length function only one time. Only one time. When it will happen? When the function, when the compiler is smart, then it will happen. From this, what we can understand? String length is a pure function. String length is a pure function. Why you said string length is a pure function? Because it takes one variable as the argument. Because if it takes one variable as the argument, and it accesses it to find its length. If you give the one variable to the string length function, it accesses it and it finds its length. So string length is called as pure function. This function reads the external memory and it does not change. Where is the value of s? It is stored in the external memory. This function reads the value from the external memory and it does not change it. The value returned derives from where? Derives from the external memory accessed. Where the value get from this function, get for this function? From the external memory. The value returned also extract from where? From the external memory. So there is no changes in this function. So string length is called as pure function. String length is called as what? Pure function. What is your question? What is function? Functions are the unit of code that is often defined with a great code structure. Function can contain a set of code. That code accepts many kinds of input like variants, expressions, and it finally produces the concrete output that is called as function. Pure function is also a type of function, or it is also called as function. Okay, next we are going to discuss about impure function. The variable used inside the function sometimes may cause the side effect. Even though the function may not pass any argument, then that function is called as impure function. The variable used inside the function may cause side effects. Though the functions are not passed with any argument, then that case is called as impure function. For example, random function is the examples of the impure function. When you call the function, when the function depends on the variables or functions outside of its definition block, then you cannot sure that the function will give the same result or will behave the same way when it is called every time. That is called as impure function. For example, random is the mathematical function. That random function will give different result for same function call. Now see the example. Let random number, let a colon equal to random if a greater than 0, then return a, else return 10. This is the one of the popular example for impure function. Here the function random is impure. As it is not sure what will be the result when the function is called. When this function random function is called, you cannot give the sure output or sure result. So it is called as impure function. Here the random is the impure function. Next, side effects of the impure function. Now we are going to see about the side effects of the impure function. As you are aware that the function has side effects when it has the observable interaction with the outside world. Sometimes if you want to create the pure function, it may become impure function. Though your goal is to make the function as pure, but sometimes it can become a impure function. The impure is not necessarily a bad thing. Sometimes it is very useful, especially if you want to create the outside functional programming paradigm. That time the side effects of the impure function will helpful. Next we are going to see about the modifying the variable outside of the function definition. Modifying the variable of the function definition is the one of the most popular group of the side effect, which is called as very important one more question, which is called as the most popular group of side effect means modifying the variable outside the function. That is the most popular group in side effect. Now let us see the example. Let y colon equal to 0 int increment. It is the short form of the increment, that is the name of the function, int x colon y colon equal to y plus x return y. This is the small example modifying the variable outside the function. In this example, the value of y get changed inside the function definition. What is the value? Initial value of the y is 0, but the initial value will be changed in the function definition. So when you call this function, you do not get the same result. Every time if you call the function, you cannot get the same result. Why? Because y value is changed inside the function, due to which we cannot get the same result. In the increment function, what is the side effect? In the increment function, what is the side effect? The side effect is changing the data of the external visible variable y. The external visible variable y data is changed in the increment function. That is the side effects of this definition. As you can see this, some side effects can easily spot out, but some of them may be tricky. You can easily spot out some side effects, but some of them cannot easily find out the side effects. In this example, this is the impure function. This function does not take any parameter and it does not return any value. In this function or in this example, this function or this example does not take any argument and it does not return any value. From all these examples, we can understand what is the main difference between the pure function and the impure function. What is the difference between pure function and impure function means? The return type of the pure function always depends on its arguments passed, but the return value of the impure function does not solely depends on the argument passed to that function. That is the main difference between the pure function and the impure function. So the pure function is called every time with the same set of arguments. It will give the same result. But in the impure function, if you call the impure function with the same set of argument, it does not give the same result. It will give the different result. That is another difference between pure function and impure function. The examples of impure functions are random and date. Random and date are the examples of impure function. Random and dates are the examples of impure function. The pure function does not have any side effects, but an impure function has side effects. The pure function do not alter the argument which is passed to them, but the impure function modify the argument which is passed to them. That is the main difference between the pure function and the impure function. Let us see the example to construct the function which determines the greatest common divisor of two positive integers. Let us name the function called as g. Now we use the recursive function, so we use the rec keyword. Follow that we can give the name of the function, and it will use two arguments a and b. What is the main condition of the greatest common divisor? Means if b is not equal to 0, then GCD of b, GCD function takes two arguments b and b of a mod b, else return a. Now let us trace out this function. Give two examples. Can we give the value for the argument? Let we find out the GCD of 10 and 150. Here a value is 10, b value is 150. So here what is the name of the function? GCD is the name of the function. It will execute it recursively till the b values becomes 0. There are two arguments. One argument is b and another one argument is called as a mod b. These two arguments are passed to the variable or argument called as or parameter called as a and b of the function GCD. Now if you pass these two values to this function, what is the value of a? 10. What is the value of b? 150. Now it checks the condition. B value is 150, not equal to 0. So the condition is true. Now it calls the function GCD recursively. It calls the function GCD what is the value of b? 150. What is the value of a mod b? If you divide, what is the value of a? 10. Then what is the value of b? 150. We cannot divide these two numbers, so it will return the remainder as 0. So the second argument is 0. 0 will pass to the b. Now 150 will be changed as 0. Now again it checks the condition. What is the value of b? B is not equal to 0. It checks the condition. Now it is 0. B value is 0. The condition is false. So it goes to the else for. What is the value of a? A value is 10. So the greatest common divisor of 10 and 150. GCD of 10 and 150 is 10. That is the trace out of this program or this function. Now let us see the chameleons of Crommelin problem using function. In 11th standard, we have studied about the chameleons of Crommelin problem. What is the chameleons of Crommelin problem? Suppose two equal number of chameleons meet, then we can construct the algorithm. That algorithm will have the meeting between these two types. That is, that equal number of chameleons have the meeting. Then it will change into the third type. Suppose two same number, that is equal number of chameleons are made, then it will change into the third type. That is the problem. Finally, all the chameleons should be in same color. Already you studied in the 11th syllabus. Now this problem can be explained using function. Now let us represent the number of chameleons each type by the variables called as A, B and C. These are the variables. These three variables are used to represent the chameleons, each number of chameleons in each type. Next, we have to write the function means it have the input properties. What is the input properties? Here, the input properties means A is equal to A, B is equal to B, C is equal to C. The small letter A, B, C are called as variable and their initial values are called as capital A, capital B and capital C. The capital A, capital B and capital C are called as the values, that is initial value that will be assigned to the respective variable called as small ABC. You have input property called as A equal to B. This is the input property. The input output relation is A equal to B equal to 0. Then C is equal to A plus B plus C. This is the input output relation of this algorithm or this function. Now let us name the algorithm called as monochromatize. What is the name of this algorithm? Monochromatize is the name of the algorithm. Now we can specify this algorithm by using the name monochromatize. It has three arguments called as A, B, C. These are the three arguments. What is the input property? The input property is always defined with a double dash. Input colon. What is the input property? Small a equal to capital A, small b is equal to capital B, small c is equal to capital C. Then finally we have the condition called as A is equal to B. If A is equal to B only, we can solve this problem. The chameleons problem can be solved when A value is equal to B means we can solve this problem. Otherwise we cannot solve this problem. What is the input output relation means? It is also defined by using double underscore output colon A is equal to B is equal to 0, C is equal to A plus B plus C. These are the input properties. These are the input output relation in this algorithm. When you want to solve this problem, each iterative process, the two types of two chameleons may change their color to the third one. That is the solution to this problem. Now we have the example called as let us assume A, B, C is equal to 4, 4, 6. Then the solution to this problem is in the series. We have to solve this problem by using this example. The first iteration. This is the iteration. This is the value of A. This is the value of B. This is the value of C. Initially, we have the value of A is 4. The value will be assigned in A. Then B value is 4. C value is 6. Now let us assign these values to the iteration, the 0 iteration. What is the value of A? 4. What is the value of B? 4. What is the value of C? 6. Now we can solve this problem because these two types, A value and B values are equal, so we can solve this problem. Now in each meeting, A and B value is decreased by 1 and C value is increased by 2. In the first iteration, we reduce A minus 1, so 3. Here reduce 1, so it is also 3. From here and here we take 1, each one from this. Let these two are add to C, so we can get 8. In the second iteration, again we reduce or we decrease from A to 1 and B to 1. C will be increased by 2. In the second iteration, 2, again the 2 will be added here, so we can get 10. In the third iteration, 1, these 2's are added here, so 12. Finally, in the fourth iteration, 0, then these 2's are added here, so finally we can get the 14. So all the chameleons are in same type. Now we can get the solution to this problem. When the solution will be stopped means A value and B value becomes 0. A and B becomes 0, then we get the solution. This problem can be written using the iterative algorithm. What is the name of the algorithm? Monochromatize. Monochromatize is the name of the algorithm. It takes 3 arguments called as A, B, C. Monochromatize A, B, C is the name of the function. These 3 are the argument. If you define any function, it takes 2, that is input properties. Second one is input output definition. When you want to define the function, then we need 3 things. One is name of the function with the argument or without argument, then input property, then finally we should have the input output relation. Now we write the first step, name of the function. What is the second step? We should specify the input property. What is the input property? Double hyphen or double dash input. Input property is always given after the colon. What is the input property? A is equal to small a is equal to capital A, small b is equal to capital B, small c is equal to capital C, then finally A equal to B. This is the input property. What is the output relation? Input output relation. The input output relation always defined or specified by using double dash output. After the output, we should give the colon. Then A is equal to B is equal to 0. When the condition, when the program stops means A value and B value becomes 0. That time it will be start. It return the C value. What is the C value? A plus B plus C. This is the input output relation. Now we can write the iteration part. We take the while loop while A greater than 0. If A greater than 0 means A comma B comma C colon equal to A minus 1 comma B minus 1 comma C plus 2. This is the iterative algorithm to solve the chameleons of Cropland. Now this algorithm can be represented or depicted in a flow chart. what is the input for this function? First we give the input for this program or problem. A comma B comma C is the input. What is the input property? A is equal to A, B is equal to B, C is equal to C, and A equal to B. This is the input property. Now it checks the condition A greater than 0. A greater than 0. If the condition is true means it do the following process. Then what is the process? A comma B comma C is equal to A minus 1 comma B minus 1 comma C plus 2. Then it goes to again checks the iterative step. If the condition is false, then it will give the output as A comma B comma C. What is the output condition? A is equal to B is equal to 0. Then C is equal to A plus B plus C. This is the flowchart for the Chrome lamps of chameleon problem. Now this flowchart can be rewritten by using the function, recursive function. So we use the recursive function means the recursive function can be defined by using the red keyword followed by red. What is the name of the function? Monochromatized there are three arguments called as A space B space C colon equal to A space B space C colon equal to. What is the condition? If A greater than 0, then we do the process called as A comma B comma C is equal to A minus 1 comma B minus 1 comma C plus 2, else A is equal to 0 comma B is equal to 0 comma C is equal to A plus B plus C, else return C. This is the function for solving this problem. So now we complete the first lesson. In this lesson we discussed about the algorithm. The algorithms are expressed using the statements of the programming language. Then we discussed about the subroutine. Subroutines means it is the building blocks of the programming language. Subroutines are the small sections of code that are used to execute repeatedly to solve some task. Next, we see the definition, function specification. Definitions are distinct syntactic block. Next, we discuss about the parameter. Parameters are the variables which are passed to the function definition, and the arguments are the values which are given to the parameter. Next, we discussed about the interface. Interface means it is a set of actions that object can do, but it actually won't do. Next, we saw the implementation. Implementation means it carries out the instruction defined by the interface. That is called as implementation. Next, we discussed about the pure function. Pure function means if you get the same result when you pass the same argument, that is called as pure function. Impure function means when the function has the side effect, when the function does not give the same result for same argument, then it is called as impure function. We discussed about the side effects, that is the most popular side effects of the impure function is called as modifying the variable of the outside function definition. Next we discussed about the main difference between pure function and impure function. Finally we discussed about the chameleons of Crommelin problem. Thanks students watching my video session. Next lesson we can discuss about the data abstraction. Thank you students.